The past 3 days, I've been watching a live stream of an auction. They were auctioning off items from the show Game of Thrones, all seasons. Cool. It's from a company called Heritage Live. They do a bunch of live auctionings and they stream it. It's not on Twitch, but I'll stream their stream because they don't really care. That shit is fucking so fun to watch. I watched it for like 8 hours on Friday, and then yesterday was the biggest item. So they had like a...
Was it the throne?
It was the throne, but it wasn't the throne that's used in the show. That throne is in Ireland. So this was the touring throne. This is the throne that they took to all of their different press tours. The same size, it weighs like 400 pounds. What do you guys think it went for?
I'm going to guess 1.2.
Okay.
Mil.
I'm going 4.5.
Okay. So it started, the opening bid was 56,000. And over the course of, I think it was like maybe a 10-minute back and forth, it ended at 1.5. And it was
not bad.
It was so fun to watch because they like, it's an auctioneer and she's like goading the people into betting. And so like it almost went at 200,000. She was about to be like, final and done. And then someone bid. And then it almost went again at 800,000. And then she got into bid again. And they went all the way up to 1.6 million on that last run. It was fucking so much fun to just watch different things being, they had over 900 items that they went through from the show. And this goes from like armor sets to action. So there's the term is action and hero swords. Hero swords are like the actual metal swords that they don't use in any of the like fake combat or anything. It's there to like look pretty for close-ups. And then action is like a rubber sword where it looks the exact same, but it's not metal. And so Longclaw, which is Jon Snow's sword, I think that was the second highest. That went for 400,000.
Wow, holy shit.
And I think his armor went for like 330,000 or something like that. But like, that was my trading card game simulator addiction, was watching these things and just being like, should I bid on that? Guys, that's under that oyster.
So can you bid?
Oh, you can sign up and bid on, but I went through, I like looked at their sign up process. They are not fucking around. So when you go to sign up, because
whales only.
Yeah, they're protecting themselves. They don't want people like, barraging the system. When you go to sign up, not only do they connect to your bank account to see how much money you have in your account, they also want like pay stubs to see what your actual
I believe it.
what you're actually like taking.
No chargebacks.
Yeah, so there's no chargebacks. It's very, very thorough. So they do a ton of auctions. I'm probably going to end up watching some more of them in the future, especially if they do marathons and stuff like that. They sold the shame bell, the literal bell
shame
that she says shame with for 85,000 is what it went for.
Sake.
And like people were just dropping crazy money on like the stupidest shit. That you remember when? Do you remember when Arya Stark is in the city and she has the oyster
cart?
Oyster cart. They sold the fucking tray, the oyster cart with all the like random bits and baubles on it for like 20,000. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, why the fuck are
oysters, clams, and cockles?
Yeah. There was 5 sticks that like that wildlings used in some random fucking episode. I think that was one of the lowest items. That was $1,500. So I almost bought 5 walking sticks because it was the only thing I could afford. I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do that shit. There was
I remember like
crazy amounts.
Working at the pawn shop, this like huge set of Lord of the Rings replica swords came through. Now these are replicas. These are not used in the thing. They're just like faithful replicas. So they're like couple hundred bucks each, just new retail.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they were like out of print or they don't make them anymore. So when we were selling them, I was like, let's throw these on eBay and see what they go for. They went for like 5 to 10 times their normal price, like their regular retail price.
Nice.
Easily. So we were like, if anybody fucking comes in with these swords, you bring them back to us immediately. We will sell the shit out of those on eBay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like $100, $200 sword sold for like 1,000. So I'm like, 400,000 for long claw that was actually fucking used on set. Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I mean it was. God, there were so many items. Mizkiff, who's a big streamer here on Twitch, was actually watching the stream as well on his channel to like 20 or 25,000 viewers. They saw his stream, and I'm supremely jealous. They saw his stream on Friday and invited him to Dallas. So he drove to Dallas after stream that night, and he got to tour the entire like thing and saw all of this stuff. They handed him Longclaw, the sword that's like sold for 400,000. He was just fucking like, he was shaking because he didn't want to fucking drop it, right? Like, someone paid $500,000 for that.
Right, right.
Like, if you drop it, you're fucked.
That's right.
He said that he was like blindfolded and stuff walking around because they didn't want anyone to know where they're actually at. Because the auction overall, I think, ended up being $18 million for all the products or something like that.
All right, so they could get robbed. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty cool thing that I didn't know was like. I've watched like the Mikamoto show before because that's been on like national television. My dad watches a lot of that, so I've seen like car auctions and stuff, that go for multiple millions of dollars. But I've never seen like a geek auctioneer type deal. It was pretty cool to watch.
That's rad. Yeah,
I watched there's a Netflix series. It's something gold. It has gold in the title or something, and it's about like this guy who runs this auction house, like on consignment. Like people bring in their collectible items, and he does like his bread and butter is like sports memorabilia.
Yeah,
but he's been getting into like nerd stuff and like Pokemon cards. Shit like that, like full art trainer cards and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like they sell for like hundreds of $1,000s and shit like that. And they had Aaron Paul on one of the shows, and he had his like Pokemon like dangle chain, like with a Pokemon card in it, like with a big gold dookie chain, like hanging from his neck and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's utter insanity, like what some of that shit absolutely go for. Like they showed like the most valuable baseball card of all time, which is a Honus Wagner tobacco card.
Yeah.
And they showed the most valuable one in the best condition anyone's ever seen. And millions of dollars for that one little piece of fucking
cardboard.
Paper and cardboard, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just insane, dude.
Yeah. That stuff is fascinating. I wonder if that stuff could ever exist on Twitch. Because it like
The Golden Touch, that's what it's called. The Golden Touch. Thank you.
That's on Netflix, the documentary?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just wonder if that auction stuff could ever exist on a place like Twitch. Not the actual bidding, but just them streaming it.
Why not?
It would get a huge, like, people watching yesterday were like, this is so fucking
I'd
stupid.
fucking watch it.
And then like an hour later, they're like, oh my God, someone let that go for $40,000. And I was like,
no.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, dude, and like that's the shit about like the Golden Touch show that I was talking about. It's like they spend way too much time talking about their business. And I'm like, get to the fucking auction. That's the fun part.
Right,
So like if they just did that, I would be watching all the time.
It was back to back, not like they never stopped the auctions on the stream. It was, and they swap out the auctioneers. I think they had like 3 different people. It was awesome. I had a fucking blast watching it. If they ever do like anything Marvel related, I'll actually like sign up for an account and try to bid on that stuff. But I'm sure it would go, that stuff would go crazy. Like if Game of Thrones is going for as much as it was, like if they do tested Marvel memorabilia, there's no fucking way.
Okay. Good. This is a good hypothetical question for you, JP.
Yeah.
What would be the Game of Thrones throne of the Marvel universe?
So someone asked that yesterday. We settled on the Thanos gauntlet, the actual Thanos gauntlet that Thanos has.
Now, was that real?
The one that I have, or the one that
is it all? Because when Thanos is wearing it, it's all CGI. But like, is there a real one?
I think that there is a real gauntlet. Yes, I think that there is a real gauntlet.
Like, cause it'd be weird to say like it's a movie used gauntlet when like the only people that wore it were it was all CGI.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was an in-camera Thanos gauntlet. The thing is, though, is that like Disney will never sell that stuff because they have parks across the world that they can display it in.
Right. Yeah.
So like, there's no Game of Thrones amusement park, right? So I guess they don't care where this stuff goes. Disney will you'll never get the like Captain America's broken shield from Endgame. That'll never be for sale.
Oh my God, I can't believe you said that, because that was I went through the list of like things and I was like, the gauntlet, I'm like, the gauntlet's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, it's mostly CGI. I'm not sure if there's actually a real one. And then I was like, oh, what about Captain America's broken shield?
Okay, yeah, and you can actually buy replicas of that for like a couple $100 that are pretty, they're 1-to-1. But it's not the same one that like Chris Evans used and blah, 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 blah. That stuff would go crazy.
You know what piece of movement memorabilia I want?
What's that?
I want the fucking orc helmet that broke Aragorn's foot.
Oh, yeah. I saw that they sold Aragorn's sword, which was the one that they used in the is that Sting?
I have to show you Sting.
Yeah,
everybody.
Sting.
I just watched Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I just watched Lord of the Rings last weekend. Sorry, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
No. They sold Aragorn's sword in 2020. I think it was 2022, and it sold for about 400,000. And it was the screen tested hero sword that he used.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it was I think it was
the one that was put back together.
Yeah. The one that he has in Return of the King and Anduril. Yeah.
Arsil.
Anduril.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That stuff would be fucking. If you had like the screen Sting or like Gandalf's staff, dude.
I was just gonna say that. Like, my holy grail of collectibles would definitely be Gandalf's staff. Like, no question. You can keep all your swords and shit. Give me the wizard staff. Give me the walking stick, and not Gandalf the White.
Yeah.
Give me the other one.
So what about the ring? Because there was like a handful of actual rings, but there was like,
and they're really big. They're really big too.
Yeah.
They made
like
a
big ring
props.
for the up close. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that Post Malone bought the Magic the Gathering, the One ring for $2 million in a private sale, like earlier this year, or last year, or something like that, when that was on sale.
I got to show you Sting, because I don't know if you guys have seen the Master Replicas Sting. But the Sting is great. Obviously, it's a fantastic replica of the sword, but
does it glow?
It also lights up. It glows.
Oh,
so
that's
you can
sick.
see.
Oh, neat.
It's actually this is a really old Master Replicas that I got like so many years ago, and I don't know that I've ever seen it anywhere since.
That's awesome.
It also makes sounds too.
So it's not metal then?
It is not metal. It's like plastic.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's got like a light inside of it, so it lights up when orcs are around.
Yeah, that stuff's dangerous for me. So I have like 11 lightsaber hilts from different Star Wars.
Yeah.
I never got into the Lord of the Rings weapons because it gets too crazy. There's too much money. There's too much money in all that shit. Yeah. I also almost got Frostmourne from World of Warcraft. They have like a 1-to-1 replica for that, for the Lich King sword. And that's pretty fucking badass. But it's like $800 or $900 for like the life-size replica.
Wow.